in honor of the City of Palmdale's first mayor, Larry Chimboli, who passed away last evening. If you could all please close your eyes, bow your heads, and say a quick little thought for Larry and his family, and thanking him for the great city of Palmdale that he began.
Thank you. Kind of a hard way to start the show, but we're here to celebrate Veterans Day. Good morning, I'm Bobby Breach. I'm the chairman of the Antelope Valley Service Organization Association, and we welcome you to the Veterans Day ceremony. All veterans are invited to sit into the front rows, so that there are some seats up here, so if you want to fill in, they've got a bunch of them left in the first three rows, I think we designated for the veterans. Today we are honoring and thanking our veterans. We appreciate you, your service to our country, and the sacrifices you have made to keep peace and freedom part of our lives. We'll begin our ceremony with the presentation of colors by the Highland High School Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard. Please join me. Well, let me wait till they get up. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. That will be followed by the national anthem performed by Saturday night singers and members of the Palmdale High School Chamber Singers. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red among the singing air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
On arms. Right out, out. Oh, out, out. 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 Out.
Thank you, singers. You should come to all our patriotic celebrations. You sound terrific. Thank you. Big round of applause. Okay, now I would like to introduce a local resident, Bruce Robertson, who will read his poem, Freedom's Wall, which was inspired by his visit to the AV Wall last year. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Robertson.
Well, since it's already been told why I wrote the poem, I'll just go ahead and read the poem. Every name on freedom's wall is a hero rich with pride, who fought for peace and justice, who laughed, who wept, who died, who represented commitment, the greatest gift of all, there for everyone to see, etched on freedom's wall. Though they've gone to heaven, in loved ones' hearts they dwell, in memories they linger, in compassion they excel. They excelled in being heroes, answering freedom's call. Countless men and women now on freedom's wall. So give credence to these heroes who won us liberty, sacrificing everything just so we'd be free, who took the final journey, giving us their all, with honor and with spirit, now on freedom's wall.
Great job. Thank you, Bruce. That was a touching tribute to the wall. To continue the celebration of freedom, the singers will now perform Lift Every Voice for Freedom by Moses Hogan.
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Thou who hast brought us thus far on our way. Thou who hast by thy might led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path we pray. With freedom's holy light, protect us by thy might. Great God, sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun, now our new day begun. Let us march on, let us march on, let us march on.
Thank you very much for that beautiful song. Aren't they good? Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you. Whoops. As I mentioned today is a celebration of our veterans. Although we are in the presence of the Vietnam Memorial Wall, November 11th is set aside to honor veterans of all wars. To give us better understanding of the meaning of Veterans Day, I invite George Palermo, Point Man, AV President Emeritus and Vietnam veteran, to explain what is Veterans Day. George?
Morning. My speech is really short. What is Veterans Day? November 11th, that's today. Celebrate. I guess got to do a little more than that. World War I, known at that time as the Great War, officially ended with the signing of the Versailles Treaty in Paris, France, or in Versailles, France. However, fighting ceased 7 months earlier when an armistice, or a temporary cessation of hostilities between the Allied nations and Germany, went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For that reason, November 11th, 1918 is generally regarded as the end of the war to end all wars. How did that work out for us? In November 1919, President Wilson proclaimed November 11th as the first commemoration of Armistice Day. The original concept for celebration for that day was to be observed with parades, public meetings, and a brief suspension of business beginning at 11 a.m. On October of 1954, President Eisenhower changed Armistice Day to Veterans Day. Then in 1968, the Uniform Holiday Bill intended to ensure 3-day weekends for federal employees by celebrating 4 national holidays on Mondays, and they would be Washington's birthday, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and Columbus Day. The first Veterans Day under the new law was observed, to much confusion, on October 25th, 1971. It was quite apparent that the commemoration of this day was a matter of historic and patriotic significance to a great number of our civilians, or our citizens. And so in September of 1975, President Ford returned the annual observance of Veterans Day to the original date of November 11th. Veterans Day continues to be observed on November 11th, regardless of what day of the week on which it falls. The restoration of the observance of Veterans Day to November 11th not only preserved the historical significance of the date, but helped focus attention on the important purpose of Veterans Day. Many Americans mistakenly believe that Veterans Day is a day America sets aside to honor American military personnel who died in battle or as a result of their wounds. That is not quite true. Memorial Day is the day set aside to honor the America's war dead. Veterans Day, on the other hand, is to honor all veterans, both living and dead. In fact, Veterans Day is largely intended to thank living veterans for the dedication and service that they gave to their country. November 11th of each year is the day we ensure veterans know that we deeply appreciate the sacrifice they made to keep our country free. In closing, I'd like to share an article that appeared in the November issue of The Vegas Voice, which is a magazine in Las Vegas. It was written by a close personal friend and the former executive officer of Point Man International Ministries. He's also the author of the book Nam Vet, Chuck Dean. Chuck says, in 1982, Joseph Ambro, a 86-year-old World War I veteran, showed up at the dedication parade for the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. It was a very special Veterans Day indeed. Joseph came with a broad smile, a peaceful heart, and in his arms he cradled a triangled American flag that had once draped over his son's casket, a young soldier who had given his life in the Korean War. So much was said without words that day. Joseph lovingly embraced that flag as if he was holding his son once again. To this day, none of us know exactly what Joseph was feeling or thinking that day. We can only imagine. My thinking is that he arrived that Veterans Day not only because of his personal loss. I believe he had come to honor the day, to honor the duty and sacrifice of all veterans, and especially a fellow veteran, his son, who paid the ultimate price to keep America free. It was a veteran-to-veteran love that compelled him to walk out on the grass in front of the 58,000-plus names engraved on that V-shaped black granite wall. He demonstrated his love for them all. They had served beyond the call of duty. It was love far distant from how love is normally defined. And amongst warriors, that kind of devotion is simply impossible to explain. Perhaps that's why they speak so rarely of it, but it is there all the same. You can see it in their eyes when they meet. So what do I think of veterans on this Veterans Day? I can summarize by telling you of a time I spent with some World War II French resistance fighters in Paris. I traveled with them to a large chateau near Lyon. During dinner, they served the most excellent local wine produced in Bordeaux. When I commented on how good they stood, raised their glasses, and said, "It's because of the suffering of the vine." Our friends explained that the best wine always comes from grapes grown on vines that have had to suffer. So Bordeaux vineyards plant them on dry, rocky hillsides where it seems like nothing can grow. The vine must struggle to reach the water needed for survival. As a result of this stress and hardship, the best grapes are produced to make award-winning wines. It's easy for me to draw a parallel between those fine grapes and the veterans that serve our country. Through the physical and emotional hardship of military life, they are like grapes planted in that arid ground. By struggle and stress, their roots have gone far to survive, and the deeper those roots have to go, the deeper their love becomes for one another and for all of life. I look to our veterans, young and old, as award-winning fruits because of the hardships they have endured. They are the finest fruit our country has ever produced. That's what I think of veterans, and I salute you all. It is my honor to help recognize and thank all veterans in attendance with the singing of the Armed Forces Medley. Lyrics to the songs have been distributed so you can sing along. Veterans, please stand as your branch is announced. And for the Army, you can just hum along. The United States Army.
Over hill, over dale, we will hit the dusty trail, and those caissons go rolling along. In and out, hear them shout, counter march right about, and those caissons go rolling along. Then it's high, high, in the field artillery. Shout out your numbers loud and strong, so wherever you go, you will always know that those caissons go rolling along.
The United States Marine Corps.
Hoorah!
To the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marine.
The United States Navy.
Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day. Through honest night on shore, drink to the foam. Until we meet once more, here's wishing you a happy voyage home.
The United States Air Force.
Off we go into the wild Here they come to meet our thunder. Atom boys, give them a gun. Down the dice, cutting a flame from under. Off on one terrible course. We live in fame, or go down in flame. Ain't nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
The United States Coast Guard.
We're always ready for the call. We place our trust in thee. Through surf, storm, and care, high shall our purpose be. Semper Paratus is our guide, our fame and glory too. To fight, to save, to fight and die. High Coast Guard, we are for you. Oh, say can you see America?
Everyone, would you please join me in showing our appreciation for these veterans? They told me I was supposed to. Okay. All right. Thank you, veterans. A grateful nation thanks you, and to my Vietnam brothers, welcome home. And sisters, sorry. And what can I say? The AV Wall is honored to be a United States of America Vietnam War commemorative partner to recognize the 50th anniversary of the war. As such, it is our responsibility, duty, and privilege to thank and honor veterans of the Vietnam War for their service and sacrifice on behalf of the United States, and to thank and honor the families of these veterans. So I invite any United States veteran who served on active duty to the United States Armed Forces from November 1st, 1955 to May 15th, 1975, regardless of location, to come forward to receive a 50th anniversary commemorative lapel pin as a token of our gratitude. Thank you and welcome home. If you have difficulty coming forward, just raise your hands and we'll get the pin back to you. Now it's on you. It's on you from now on. Okay.
WD-40. WD-40. I don't do it frequently.
If there are any veterans who can't make it up here, we'll just raise your hand and we'll get it to you. They're really nice, too. I heard that. Yes. Good. Unlike World War I veterans who aren't really around anymore. That's okay. I think they just about have it. So is there anybody else out there that didn't get any, get a pin? Okay. Thank you. Are you starting something, Terry? Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you for coming out today to show your respect and appreciation for our veterans.